and I can really speak, I think, a bit more for Thailand and what makes Thai hospitality. It really does come down to the people, the warmth and friendliness of the Thai people who are really happy, who enjoy making guests happy, providing service, and then they come back with a thrill and say, "Oh, we surprised this guest with this and that," and he or she was so happy, and you can see how much joy that generates. And I think that really is, we always talk about this Thai smile, but that's not a stereotype. That really is true, right? For anybody who has been to Thailand and experienced the hospitality here, I think it's genuinely warm and friendly.
Hello, my name is Renae Leith-Manos. Welcome to this podcast, Where to From Here, featuring conversations about luxury travel and how it's changing in every pocket of the globe. Hello, today we are going to Bangkok to the Sofitel Sukhumvit, which is a hotel that underwent a major renovation, I think in late 2023. The lobby was revamped, all 345 rooms and suites, meeting rooms, dining spaces were all redone with a kind of French elegance that Sofitel was famous for, with a contemporary Thai sort of influence as well. I was lucky enough to stay there with my children in December, and really we had the most magnificent suite. We had the most wonderful time. I mean, anyone who watches my podcast or is on my website knows how much I absolutely love Thailand, Southeast Asia, and especially Bangkok. Oliver and I were just talking before we started the podcast, and I was just saying how I really feel Bangkok has such fantastic bars, restaurants, and just so many luxury hotels, so many luxury hotel conferences, lucky for me, that I feel like I'm always there. But Oliver, too, has a real passion and a connection with Bangkok. He's been there a really long time, and he has basically overseen this complete renovation, which includes this most amazing Belgian rooftop bar and I guess brasserie, an Italian restaurant, and my favorite is Maison Mizuki, a Japanese brasserie, which has the most amazing entry, which we'll get him to tell us about, as well as beautiful interiors. And the Sofitel Spa has won a number of awards, and the hotel received the Green Globe certification in 2024. And also, I was actually doing some research for this interview, and it popped up that TripAdvisor, this has won the Traveler's Choice Award many times. So for both service and for guest experience. So without further ado, Oliver, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to have a chance to chat with you, Renae.
We've been talking about getting together for many months, so we finally made it happen.
Finally, at last.
Yes. And look, you're obviously German. You began your career in Germany. You've worked in New York and Bangkok. You went back to Germany at one stage, I believe, but you've spent the majority of your career in Asia. So what would you say, is there an unwritten rule that distinctly defines German hospitality and service compared with the very different Southeast Asian approach?
Let me say like that the traditional German hospitality um, is was very helpful in my early career and a fantastic start. Uh, because it's a little bit like, I don't want to stick to the rules, but learning the importance of standards, right? How, I mean, there is ways of how a bed is being made. There is a way of how you vacuum clean a room. There was soap for everything, right? There were really procedures. This is how we do this. And in all, because ultimately you want, when you travel and you travel with in a group of hotels, right? You expect that you will get a similar experience. Doesn't matter where you are, at least when the basic services are concerned. And I think that's really what I learned originally in Germany when it comes to the traditional German hospitality. Asia, you see, to generalize Asia is not possible, because I think when we say Asia, there is so much difference between Japan, Thailand, China, even every place has its own distinction, and I can really speak, I think, a bit more for Thailand and what makes Thai hospitality. It really does come down to the people, the warmth and friendliness of the Thai people who are really happy, who enjoy making guests happy, providing service, and then they come back with a thrill and say, "Oh, we surprised this guest with this and that," and he or she was so happy, and you can see how much joy that generates. And I think that really is, we always talk about this Thai smile, but that's not a stereotype. That really is true, right? For anybody who has been to Thailand and experienced the hospitality here, I think it's genuinely warm and friendly.
Yeah, it's so interesting because when I think of Germany, I mean, you have so many fantastic brands, Mercedes, luxury brands, as you say, that work. And my concept, I mean, I've traveled there many times, very six-up, ordered, organized. And when I think of Thailand, you're right, it's more of a human touch point, relaxed, gentle, and soft.
Yeah.
So quite different.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And it's also sometimes you see when things don't go exactly as planned, but the way people go about it here is just different. And I think often also you see that visitors also react differently. They are more calm. Yeah, okay, this it didn't really come exactly on time, because of the traffic or whatever. It took you longer to get from A to B. But in general, people don't get as upset as they would maybe in some other places of the world, right? Because maybe also the driver is more friendly and smiling and already apologetic and sorry, and it's just a different way of how people go about things here, and that's sometimes also contagious, I would say.
Well, reflecting on your journey, Oliver, when was the moment you realized that, a career at luxury hotels wasn't just a possibility, but your calling in your life?
I started working part-time actually when I was still going to high school. I started working part-time uh, at a friend's restaurant, and that restaurant had a big outdoor area, which was a bit more casual. That was like almost, I don't want to say beer garden, but something like that. But he also, because he was trained, in fine dining and indoors, it was more of a fine dining restaurant, and he asked me eventually also to help out inside, and I really liked that, and I found it interesting. Then when school came to an end, before I made the final call, I did an internship in a hotel in Cologne, close to where I'm from, in the bar there, and that was when I say, okay, I knew that that's going to be it. That's what I want to do. I really really enjoy that. And from there on, I did an apprenticeship then afterwards in Germany and started then to work in various places around the world. I never looked back actually. It was the right decision. I really love what I do.
Well, you definitely didn't look back because you've worked for some of the world's most prestigious hotel groups, including the Peninsula, the Four Seasons, Mandarin Oriental, Kempinski, and now Sofitel. So tell me, with all of that diverse experience with some of the most luxurious hotel brands in the world, how do these luxury brands differ in their approach and what key strategies do they employ to consistently preserve their unique brand DNA? Because you and I sitting here know, well, I know as a hotel reviewer, when I walk into the Peninsula or the Four Seasons or the Mandarin Oriental, the experience is vastly different. But to the layperson, it's just another five-star hotel. But they're very different in their DNA and personality.
Yes, I mean it comes also, I think, partially when you look at the origin, right, of these groups. I mean, when we look for seasons that started in Canada, um, Peninsula started in Hong Kong, right, and so did a Mandarin. I mean, Mandarin Oriental was the Mandarin in Hong Kong and the Oriental in Bangkok, where that started. Kempinski started, I think, it's the oldest luxury hotel group, right? They started in Berlin, in Germany. Uh, Sofitel, a French hospitality group, starting in France, in Strasbourg with the first hotel. Um, so they all have a thing in common, that they, of course, would like to provide a fantastic experience to their guests, right? The distinction, how is it different? I would say that you have a brand positioning, and that comes with the overall hardware, the product, and the price positioning, right? What they would have, um, and of course it varies not only. I would say it does vary between countries a little bit, right? Because I think as much as a hotel group tries to provide the same service everywhere, there is a certain level which they certainly all do. But I do believe that the service experience in the US would be slightly different than the one you have in Asia, or right? And for many reasons, often also like we are in Asia, I would say in Thailand we are a little bit spoiled because we we do not have a labor shortage like you would now experience in the US or in Europe, where my colleagues who run hotels there, they struggle to find people, right? And not struggling to find guests, but struggling to find people who want to provide the service. So um, I think it's what all these brands we just mentioned have in common is also like they have a service culture, and it's not just the training, right? It's also like that you would see that knowledge is passed on from elderly colleagues to younger students who come into our industry and start. Um, but also it comes back to guidelines and standards you have, which you establish in each group, right? How things should be done, and ultimately the experience, I think, always depends a lot on the individual. So no matter the individual who's providing the service. So no matter what you have as a brand, the lasting impression, right, is not the logo above the door. It's the person who put your suitcase in the trunk, smiles, waves at you, wishes you a nice journey back to your destination, and gives you that fond farewell. And that is, I think, what you remember, that smile of that person who stood there waving you goodbye, uh, rather than was there a golden faucet in the bathroom or something like that, right? I think really what makes great hospitality and what these brands have in common is really that they have been able to attract great talent who would like to provide that service.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And look, can you work with me on this one for a fun one? If you had to personify each of these iconic hotel groups as distinct personalities or characters, people, how would you describe them?
That is a fun one indeed. Um, what what shall we say? I mean, the four seasons. Maybe let's start with them. That I would say that's maybe like the discreet aristocrat.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like they won't make a show of it, um, but they know every detail of your preferences, um, and they already handled it
Yep.
in that direction, right? If we go there.
The
Peninsula
peninsula.
Peninsula is like the timeless matriarch, right? If she would be a persona, I mean, she still writes this calligraphy handwritten welcome card and makes sure it comes with the right flowers in the room, something like this, right? I think that
Beautiful.
would be the Peninsula. Mandarin Oriental, it's a bit more difficult. I would say that's maybe the Zen power executive, kind of, right? The because Asia is the origin, but they also really, uh, have now lots, and I think more of their hotels outside of Asia than in Asia itself.
Yes.
So the calm of the Zen garden and the precision of a Swiss watch, a
Yes.
mixture of that, I would say. Uh, Kempinski, I would say that's the cultured European gentleman. We make we make sure we're doing things the proper way, uh,
Yes.
but making it look completely natural, uh,
Yes.
something along those lines.
And Sofitel.
And Sofitel. And I left my favorite to the last. I would say that's the chic Parisian socialite. She makes you. That's the character, right? She makes you feel like you're in a movie, and you are the lead. Something like.
I have to tell you, when I think of Sofitel and I think of a person, I do think of your CEO, Maud Bailey.
Yes, of course, of course. And I mean, it's really. I'll be very frank. And I believe that Sofitel as a brand was somewhat of a sleeping beauty until Maud took over the helm. I started with Sofitel 8 years ago, and I don't think we were making much waves or much noise, or there were not many initiatives, and you could really feel, and then the dynamic which came in when Maud took over, and that has motivated me also personally a lot. And working with her is really, I enjoy it very much because things are moving, things are happening. There's a dynamic, and I'm not somebody, I can't sit still. So I can relate to Maud in so many ways, right? No, I think really what Maud and her team, of course, have achieved in the last 3 years. I really, really enjoy seeing the progress, and I know this is the start. This is not the end of the journey, right? There's more to come, and we have we as a group, we really have plans, right, to bring things further, and I think we're on a very good way.
Totally agree with you. And I have to say, Maud Bailey is a person, when she's in the room with you, she makes everyone feel like they're in a movie. To steal your
It
words.
was what I had in the back of my mind when I spoke about that character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's one of a kind. And yeah, I feel honored to have met her and to work with her. And as I'm sure you do in your capacity, much closer than I do. But yeah.
Yes.
But tell me about your beautiful Sofitel Bangkok Sukhumvit. It's undergone a stunning renovation. What are the highlights of it for you?
I mean, I think the highlights is that we managed what is not easy, right? To have a designer to come up with something. Sure, it's possible to come up with an appealing design, but how long will this design be appealing? And I think what has happened here is that we were very fortunate to have a designer who came up with an idea. I think this is a timeless elegance what he created. With light colors. Before it was very masculine and dark, and I think now it's really it's more timeless. It's fresh. I think in 5 years' time it will still be timeless and will still look fresh, and still appealing. The highlights, I believe, I would say the lobby.
Yeah,
What
I
was
agree.
done with the lobby is the biggest part of the transformation. If somebody comes into the hotel now for the first time and they walk through the door and they say, "Oh, that's very nice," but any guests I meet in the lobby who came before the renovation and comes now and they go, "Wow, what a difference," because it really is a massive transformation when you have seen it before. Um, and with the highlights, the lobby also, how we changed the flow, how we have our little Le Macaron, the delicatessen downstairs. We have, as you mentioned earlier, Maison Mizuki, our Japanese whiskey and sushi bar.
And remind me, what is it when you walk in? There's that beautiful image of the woman out the front. There's a trick to getting in. What is it again?
Yes. That is something where the Mizuki, when we conceptualized it, we said we make this a little bit as a speakeasy, right? And we build it around the character of this picture's character of Madame Mizuki. So
Beautiful.
you have first you have to press a button, right? And then it's like a screen where some eyes, like in an old speakeasy bar, come out and blink, and then the door opens. Then you can go in, and when you walk in, there is a big portrait of Madame Mizuki in a kimono, and when you walk by, there's a motion sensor, so it's not a painted picture; it's a screen, and she moves and winks at you or smiles, depending when you walk into that, right? Just to make it a bit more fun and quirky, I
It's
think.
fabulous. It's very sophisticated and fresh.
Yeah, and then people still, sometimes people say, "Oh, I want to go out and come in again because I want to see what she does this time when I walk through the door." Right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
So that has been really, really well taken now. I can say that the outlet is pretty much, between 6 and 8:30. It is really become a dining spot. Originally, we thought it would become more of a bar, but it transpired to be more for the early hours of the evening, a restaurant, and then later really morphs into a bar. Um, and another highlight, I would say, is definitely the rooftop, what you mentioned earlier, right? Belga rooftop bar and brasserie. It has really nice view. And what also is great about it, I think, for us as the operators, but also for guests, because before we start the fourth podcast today, we spoke a little bit about the weather, right? And you do often have heavy showers in certain times of the year in Bangkok. Luckily, when that happens here, we have a really nice, cozy, sexy restaurant designed inside, and people are fine to sit inside and eat. So in case of rain, it's not like, oh, we have to go home. Then people just move indoors if we have space there. Um, so it's not purely a place where people go for the view, right? People come for the food, the drinks, the service, the atmosphere. It's a place where people meet. And of course, a certain amount of visitors, tourists especially, they also come to enjoy the setting and the view when you haven't experienced it yet, right?
No,
So,
absolutely. And
th-
Bangkok is a lot of Bangkok now is about views. It's spectacular from all of the hotels.
yeah,
Beautiful.
definitely. So that we have that space is definitely also one of the highlights. Uh, we, of course, I'm personally very happy that we've also managed to upgrade all our facilities for meetings. Right, we have a very big ballroom, over 700 square meters, and in Bangkok, weddings tend to be large, so you need space. But also for corporate event, we have technology in with LED screen, the things you need today, right? So, no, I have to say the renovation is very, very well received, and positioned us where we want to be, right, in this city.
And we often hear about celebrities staying in luxury hotels, but if you got a story you can share with us about an unexpected guest or one of a fascinating person who you've met or who regularly comes to the hotel.
I think in my well, one thing, we have to be, of course, always discreet and about privacy and what we can share and what we cannot. Um, Therefore, I would prefer to go a few years back.
Yeah, of course.
Um, uh, you meet celebrities, and usually you hear a lot of stories, and you think they are very demanding, and often their assistants and their team around them can be very demanding, and that's why they come to a luxury hotel, because they want to make sure that everything is taken care of. But what has surprised me in this is also how humble and really nice some celebrities could be. And to me, there's two examples which come to mind, and I'm happy to mention the names. One would be Paul McCartney, which I experienced twice, once in New York and once in London. And on both interactions, he was humble, nice, sweet, funny, um, and just a wonderful, wonderful person to talk to. And the other one was
Which hotel? Which hotel was that?
that was Plaza Athénée in New York, and the Mandarin Oriental in London. And the other one was Johnny Cash. I had the pleasure to have him, and it was also in New York. He came a few times to stay with us, and he was very much a family man. He had the whole family with him, and he was already his health was already not that great. But he really was so friendly and so nice. Also, like how he spoke with the staff members, it tells a lot, I think. And he was wonderful. He was very, very nice. Uh,
That's beautiful.
there's definitely a few more, but as I said, that is something we need to keep
Cool.
something very yeah, private.
I understand. You're such a classic hotelier, Oliver. It's wonderful. You can hear your passion and your decades of experience in everything that you say. It's wonderful. I could sit and talk to you for ages, but unfortunately we can't. But we ask everyone who comes onto the show, where to from here? You might want to talk about your next holiday coming up or what you're doing today or something that's happening with the hotel. So where to from here?
Where to from here? It it brings me back maybe first of all really to this journey what we mentioned earlier, what we have started with Maud as the CEO for the group, and I'm excited to see the further developments we are doing. So that is maybe on the professional front. What is next to really to continue to see this growth and of the Sofitel brand. Personally, what next from here? I still have quite a few things on the list in terms of places I want to visit. These days I travel slightly different because of my daughters. I have two young daughters. They are 6 and 8 years old. So at the moment, it's a lot about that hotel looks nice, but then the question is, do they have a kids club? Right? Yes. So but there is like almost a bucket list. What I have places I want to go with them, what we want to see, but that maybe when they're a little bit older, so they can appreciate it more. Definitely, there's still a lot of places to explore in Thailand, because people know the tourism hotspots, but there's so many second and third tier cities in Thailand, provinces to explore, and the nature is wonderful. That is something I also look forward to. So yeah, traveling remains a big part of excitement for me, and I think for many people, it's still people enjoy to explore new places, meet new people, make new experiences, and that's I guess what my industry is about, right? Our industry is about. And I'm still excited to work in this industry and also meet new people every day who come through our doors. That's something. There's never a dull moment in a hotel, right? That's something I really enjoy about this industry. No day is like the other. And some people would prefer the opposite. They need this. And I fully understand and respect this. But I have some of my friends from school that say, "Oh, I couldn't do what you do." And I said, he is working for a big insurance company for 30 years. I said, and I couldn't do what you are doing. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, it's not, I need this excitement, what we have, right?
Yeah, wonderful. Lucky you. Lucky you. I'll come and see you soon.
Please
But
do,
thank you,
please.
Oliver. It's been so wonderful having a discussion with you.
It's been a real pleasure, Renae. Thank you so much. Really, all the best to you.
Absolutely.
And we
Take care
definitely,
and I hope to see you
yeah,
soon.
in Thailand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
You can always look me up if you come to Sydney. I meet lots of general managers here. Love to see you.
That is in the cards. That is a plan, but that's maybe 2-3 years down when, as I said, the kids are a bit taller. I have a few places I want to visit in Australia, and I will come definitely.
And the F&B culture will be mind-blowing for you. It's pretty fabulous, especially the wines. Beautiful.
Yes, the wines is one of the things I had in mind. Yes.
Absolutely. Lovely to speak to you, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Renae.
Bye for now.
Don't forget to subscribe here and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for regular travel updates. You can also hear our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.